Hello, hello. Not sure, is my voice audible? Mic test, hello? Please let me know if the audio is working, because sometimes it doesn't. So I always have to check. I apologize for that. That's awesome. Hello, how are you? Hope I'm well. Yes, I am. Just a little tired. Just a little tired, but apart from that, I think I am quite peachy. So we're just finishing up this Absolute Batman piece. We're trying to capture a good three-dimensional perspective for this. Where are you from? I see that we have some viewers right now. Hello, guys. It's nice to have you all here. Thank you for joining the stream. It looks great. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is part of a larger piece, larger set that I'm doing. He is the first of hopefully 5. So right now what we need to be able to do is get this kind of floor effect. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now with this. US. Oh, that's awesome. So as my clock shows, it is currently 5:45 here where I am. Have to draw on any characters from the... Have I drawn any characters from the Absolute Batman series? Absolute series? Is that what you're asking? Am I understanding your question correctly? I hope that I'm understanding your question properly. Yes, I have drawn a couple of other characters from the Absolute series, but I haven't colored them. This is the first one that I've colored. I'm drawing Superman as well and Wonder Woman. They're the ones so far that I am tackling. Let me know if I answered your question. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So this is another artwork that I had done. This is for another project, but I am using it as a reference to get the background correctly. So we can actually have it from up there, but we want to cut it short. I think this is a good place to end it with. And we have our lighting coming from the back, and that's something that we have to properly position here. So apart from the background, I think everything else is good. This is the one that I really want to be able to do correctly. Let's just say. There you go. I'm not sure which one works better. The regular white background or the one with a gradient like this with a backdrop that extends towards the horizon. I am honestly contemplating. We could also do something like this so that it's kind of similar to the other covers that I have seen for the Absolute series. But the thing with this, if we do it like this, there has to be some redness around our character, which is something that I'm going to be doing right now. I'm going to turn off the symmetry. I am going to select my round brush, and I am going to start to paint a multiply pass around the sections that should be affected by the light from underneath. You like the gray background. I see. Is the red too much? Yeah, perhaps the gray works. Okay, I got what you mean. But the red with splotches of right was interesting to see. Splotches of light, you mean? These parts should be receiving some red on them, like so. Splotches of white. Autocorrectors. It's okay. It happens. I've had important conversations that almost got ruined because of autocorrect. So there's nothing to worry about. So we could try this, or we could go with the the gray background. I'm not really sure yet. I mean, I kind of like both. Either way, whether we have the red or not. So if we're gonna stick with the um, gray backdrop, we still need to produce a shadow. And that's one of the trickier things to do when it comes to such an illustration. This is one of the faster ways to do it. And to just try and orient it according to perspective. But of course it doesn't always perfectly follow through, such as what you're seeing here. Yes, he is. This is an homage to one of those panels with Absolute Batman really just having a field day and just enjoying himself and just giggling like a madman. So that's what I was trying to replicate here. So this is one way we could do it. I'm not quite satisfied with how this is turning out. So we abandon that. Instead, I think that I should instead just... So this is what he looks like. That's his face. which is a reference to, I forget which chapter this is, but maybe it's the 9th chapter, this one. So I wanted to capture his madness, or at least his great desire for justice in his own way. So for this one, let's try to ease our way through. Good. Then for B tier, same thing. Oh, that's in Superman. Absolute Superman. Not sure if Talia is in Absolute Superman though. I will have to double check. But I am sure that Absolute Roz is in Absolute Superman. I think that's pretty good. Let's try to duplicate Absolute Batman again. Bring his saturation down and his lightness down. And then let's just completely mirror him over to the other side. And the trick, I think, is to I honestly forgot how to do this. I used to be able to do this with ease. There you go. It's the top part that's important. That's what we're going to try and emphasize with this. There you go. And then we Gaussian blur that. Too much. There you go. And then we, sorry, my bad. We hide that. And we slowly start to bring it back, like so. Multiply. Lower the opacity. Then we combine the different types of shadows that we've prepared. There you go. So now we could go back here and start to remove the excess. The parts that seem to be too much. There you go. So let's test it out. There you go. But with that in mind, that means that our shadow for the head here also has to be lessened. Shouldn't be too strong so that we get a good balance of the image. There you go. Or else it would attract too much attention to itself. And now that we have that properly set, let's go back to our multiply, grab a light gray, and then below airbrush the parts that should be elevated and casting some shadow to complete the illusion. There you go. There you go. Same thing here. Remember that the light is coming from the back and to the front. So that is simply what we are basing all of this off of. There you go. Reference for the costume for the fabric. Actually, I combined the Battinson fabric and the Affleck. Those are the fabrics that I reference for this, to end up with that. So it's a custom fabric, I would suppose. So let's erase some more of this. There you go. Yes. It looks plausible. Thank you, thank you. So now we could blend it all together so that we have better control over it. And so if we look at it, the shadows look like this. And then we continue cleaning it up with softer brushes. So all of this was researched. As much as I wanted to draw Absolute Batman, one characteristic that I always give my illustrations as much as possible is the believability of it. I try not to treat my commissions, or well, this isn't a commission, but should anybody commission me, I apply the same principles anyway. So what I'm trying to say is that whatever piece I work on, I always apply I simply call it stylized realism. So all the materials are researched, all of the potential types of fabric are researched. If I could look for a good reference or source for how something functioned, I always gravitate towards that rather than just making things up as I go. I think it lends greater credence to the illustration. Although I think the caveat for this is because of the availability of AI, when people see the work, they might think that it's because it is rendered, they might not even think that it's a drawing, which is sad. Compared to a few years ago when you got to see something like this, you only had two options of thought. Actually, three. The first is it's a drawing, the second is it's probably 3D, or the third is it's a photo. But nowadays, with the ubiquity of AI, well, it's kind of affected pieces like this, where you have to explain that no AI was used in the crafting of this and the illustration of this, and so on and so forth. I'm a similar mind when it comes to such research. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think it elevates the product. So, for example, here I'm actually looking at an image of Daredevil right now. And I know that Batman is not Daredevil at all, but the reason I bring him up... Oh, not that one. I copied the wrong image. There you go. The reason I bring this up is because we have similar lighting. And I'm trying to study how the light folds here. So this is the reference that I have to my side right now. So if we turn off the vibrance measurement, this is the result. And I think that it stands out quite well as well. So we could turn off the red and we'll be fine. So now that we have the shadow ready, we could now put a brightness pass and turn off the brightness pass again. Why do we do this? So that we could control where the brightness is going to be. Let me recall the Daredevil image that I just pulled right here. Notice how, because of the way the lighting works, this is one of the brightest spots right next to his feet. And so we will be simulating that lighting. So we have our light coming from the top. And so that means that this should receive the most light. And it should start to have a fall off as it heads in this direction, like so. So you have this nice controlled fall off. There you go. It also, once you zoom it out, it also creates a better contrast with the figure. and so the figure ends up standing out more clearly. And it also makes sense for the Black Mask shadow to be cast behind him, because the light is in front of Black Mask. It's in front of Black Mask and it's behind Batman, creating this this illusion right here. So now, when we turn off the vibrance again, we have a still considerably nice effect. So whether we want to go with the grayscale or the reds, I think that both work. I hope that I'm explaining the process properly. So what I'm thinking of right now is how, because I'm pretty much liking how this is looking. I really do. Let me open up a previous commission, because I need a certain texture from there. This one. So I'm gonna grab this texture, which I also created. It is an A3 texture, A3 paper size texture. I crafted it on my own. It looks like this. So it's a scan from a sheet of paper, and I cleaned it up and I combined it together. That's what it looks like. And once you put it over, it's barely noticeable, but it creates this paper-like feel to the drawing. There you go. That's awesome. So, a few questions come to mind. Hold on, I want to observe it more. Which part? Which part? Please let me know while we're on stream. Let me know where to direct the illustration. I'll wait for your reply. Do you want the full shot like this, or do you want me to zoom into a specific portion? Oh, it was the Daredevil one. I see. Do you want me to turn on the Daredevil one? Here you go. Let's enlarge DD a little bit. We could also add a little bit of when you were explaining the shadow. Oh, I see. There's a delay in the chat, so I apologize in case I'm not following correctly. I'm just trying to get a proper hold of what's being mentioned. I think another way we could handle this is to, instead of doing it like this, I think that we could cut off this portion. I have an idea. Maybe we could pay better homage to Nick Dragotta's official first cover of Absolute Batman, in which that there is a glorious city right behind Bruce. More I listen to your talks, Cody, Rick, and you, shit man. There is shit ton of things. It's all good. Thanks for yeah. Um, when it comes to art, there really is so much. It's not just, especially when you're just starting, and I'm gonna speak from experience. My preference years ago was just to draw anything that I liked, and it was superheroes. Before I drew everything else, it was Batman and Superman. I had Michael Turner's run of Batman Superman and Jim Lee's Hush and Lionel Yu's Superman Birthright. I read those. I swallowed those. I digested those. And I just copied. And while I was copying, I pretended that I wasn't copying. Like I was lying to myself because I was a kid, you know? And I was trying to just take the image and then replicate it and then maybe change some characteristics to make it my own character. Sometimes I did that. What I failed to realize is that I wasn't really learning. I was learning how to do the strokes, where to go thicker, where to go thinner. That much I was able to do. But I didn't know the shape of the head. I didn't know where the deltoid was going to be. God, it took me maybe, 10 years before I started to focus on how to draw hands. I always hid the hands behind pockets or behind somebody's back. And for years, I could draw faces, but I had a hard time drawing the other eye. And I had to push myself out of it. And so when it comes to drawing, and this is just regarding the human body, there's so much to it. Even more so when it comes to composition and all of the other elements of crafting a good image. So right now, this is what I'm thinking of replicating, or at least paying homage to. Let me show it. So let's copy the reddish. I don't know how fast I'll be able to paint this, but let's see what I can do. So this is Nick Dragotta's original cover. There you go. I kind of wanted to push the physique of Absolute Batman, but I also wanted to maintain the realism. And so that's why I stuck to this build. He's still big. How do I know that? Because I drew Absolute Batman and Guts together. And this is what it looks like. Guts is already a big guy, and we will be coloring Guts too after this. There you go. So this is the black and white version, and I'll be replacing the black and white with a colored one. So as you can see here, oh, there you go. I have a good copy of this. I think I should copy it there. There you go. So as you can see here, I've already enlarged the biceps. I've already enlarged the hands. If you stare at the hands properly, his hands are larger than his head. Guts is slightly smaller, but still big. So they're still heroic proportions. It's just not to the level of exaggeration that what do you call it? That the Absolute Batman in Dragotta's work is. So that's the difference. All right, so we go back here. So let's see what we can do. So things to notice. There's an orange hue to the illustration. There's also a version of this that's darker, I think. There's a second version of this that has blue light around it. I think so. Let's check. That's why Google is our friend. Oh, no. There's another version with him with the axe. That one has the bluer lighting. I see. Okay. So, a huge difference. Notice how I already tried to put orange at the background, right? And here, let me intensify the chroma. Why it's not reflecting is because the floor does not have that similar lighting scheme. So how do we change that? We change that by selecting the color, creating a new layer, So it pretty much completes everything. But then we turn this into multiply. There you go. So now we have flooring that reflects the light at the back. And then we could reduce the multiply a little bit, but not too much. We could change the lighting later on. There you go. So there's a magic trick to this, because I could simply turn on the black and white version and he can stand out. I like keeping layers, even though it makes the program load so much slower. But that's the good thing about having a large amount of RAM. So anyways, so we go back here. Let's go back to last used symmetry, because it seems that Nick Dragotta used symmetry for his illustration. Let's grab a flat square pastel brush and set that baby to black, and then let's see what we can do. There you go. So I'm gonna close the other viewport, and we're just going to paint away. Even as I'm working on this, I'm not sure if this is the final look that I'm gonna go for. Part of me wants to experiment right now and just try to see what happens. There you go. Then maybe we could make the beams a little thicker. There you go. There you go. So it seems that from Nick's illustration, there seems to be glass here on the right side. So we could darken that, create a new layer underneath. So let me modify the stream so that I hide the comments a little bit, and so that you could see the layers. Here you go. So people, there might still be some folks out there who thinks that this is a fake stream, you know, and that I'm lying. Well, there's the proof. All of the layer files are there. I just couldn't find a better way to showcase the comments, so I hid it for a while. There you go. So we could darken that part there. So as much as I love this technique in which you get to have a background super quickly by just painting, I am still not in preference of it. Why? Because it's not as crisp as the rest of the image. From afar it gets the job done, and a lot of artists love to do that. RL, chat died. Chat died. Yes, I know. I'm gonna bring back chat. There you go. Chat is back. There you go. Now we need a city. City on a hill. And the tricky thing about this is our horizon line is around the head. Is around Bruce's head. Where our camera is not situated at his abdomen in the same vein as Nick Dragotta's illustration. So in this case, we're going to have to change the orientation of the buildings a little bit. But I'm not too sure about that yet. So here we have this already set. And then I think that we should widen this. Because again, there you go. And then this one. Oh wait, wrong. When you're looking down, things widen at the top. All right. Okay, good. There you go. Yeah, I turned off the chat. I turned off the chat so that you can see the layers. That's why I did it. So I'm gonna turn off the chat again. Here you go. There you go. I turned off the chat. You could still chat, but it's not going to show up on the screen. And then I'm going to turn it on back again. There you go. All right. So we have our backdrop already set. Now for the buildings. Let's try and see what we can do. So let's grab a tinge of a higher chroma red for the background. Yeah, I might abandon this. Not the drawing, the background. I'm honestly torn between between the previous version and this one, but we'll see. So there's also clouds outside because we are pretty high up. And one thing we can do, I think, is we could photo bash. Skyline. Gotham skyline. Let's see what we could get. We could use Gotham from Arkham Knight. Yes, let's use that. So this is what you call photo bashing. You take an image and then you photo manipulate it. So in this case, we're pretty high up. What we have to do is match the perspective. There you go. And then same thing, we skew it. We skew it so that it looks like it is shifting. There you go. But not too much. There you go. Maybe we could even extend it. Nah. Compress it. Yes, compressing it works. So sometimes I have the theory, but I don't always know if the execution is going to hit it on the head, you know? And that's where experimentation comes into play. That's where you have to that's where you test things out. So here we have a very colorful bluish Arkham Knight screen grab, right? How do we handle this? We use blend modes. So right now I changed it to multiply. This is what we got. Pretty good. We have color burn, too much, linear burn. So we do testing here. There's lighten, screen. Oh, that's pretty cool. But we have to get one that's closest to Nick Dragota's version. This is also pretty nice. There's also overlay. Pretty good. Soft light. Oh, that one's better. Hard light seems to do the job. That's too much. Yes, hard light does the job. Now that we have it, right? We have the hard light. We can use further blending modes. So here we can shift the underlying layer. And we could start to do masking. So in this case, this is a little tedious, but bear with me. Let's start off here. Boom. And then here. We just have to work fast. We don't have to be too detailed because it is the background after all. We will still be painting over it. It's just our quick guide. There you go. Bada bim. Select this. So if you go and look at concept art books, especially for film, they actually do a lot of this. One thing I've noticed is when you pick up a film concept art book, it's less detailed than a video game art book. Something that I've noticed a lot of times. Why? Because sometimes for films, you only need to do a matte painting. That's it. So you create a matte painting, and it's only in frame for maybe what, 10 seconds, and then that's all that the audience is going to see from it, nothing more. And so you could call it a day. But as for video games, when you create a concept, well, it's going to be seen by players all the time. They could look at it from the side, they could look at it from the top, they could, study it. And that's why concept art for video games is far more comprehensive. It has to be, for its own sake. And in this case, since this is for a mock comic book cover, all we have to do is approach it from a film standpoint. Not too detailed, but detailed enough. Oops, my bad. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. I love McDo. There you go. There you go. There you go. So we have a little more. So in this case, I don't want to hassle myself with all of those extra shapes. So I'm going to delete from there, and I'm just going to focus on this one building right here. There you go. And then I'm going to cop out. Gotham cop out. And then just delete this. There you go. There you go. And then we could even cheat our way out here. And then here too. Again, we don't have to be too strict on this. There you go. Same thing here. Again, we're still going to be painting over it. This is the tricky part. As cool as that is, not now. Maybe next time. What is it the roadie said in Iron Man 2? No, in Iron Man, next time, baby. So let's kind of like think like roadie a little bit. There you go. If I had 8 hours to teach a class, this is how I would have taught my... I have an idea. Concept art is made for other artists. That's true. To guide them to create 3D assets. That is also true. You should make a bat symbol with the silhouette of the city. Joker approved. A bat symbol with the silhouette of the city. I could probably do that, but that's not the intent right now. The intent is to copy Nick Dragota's version of this. That's the intent. And so we need just a good execution of the building, nothing more. Because originally, look at how changed the scope of the illustration is. Earlier, we were just thinking about whether to go for gray or red, but now we have a full orange backdrop. Like, what the hell? Pity Batman versions of Joker is so huge. Oh, that's true. There you go. There you go. One more. Almost there. You just have to clean it enough. Because we'll be painting the skyline underneath this. The lighting, I mean. The lighting of the sky underneath this. There you go. Almost there. Wait. Let's see what happens if we just simply remove the... Oh, oh my god. Delete. Okay, interesting. I went through that entire effort of doing that. Yeah, I still have to go through the entire effort of doing that. I was like contemplating if I fucked up. But yes, I still have to do that. And I will demonstrate in a wee bit. Because we already had the sky there, right? So that could have already been a jumping point, but it's too crisp. It's too much. So we still have to do this. We don't have to be too thorough about it. We don't have to be too Thor Odinson about it. Ha 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 ha. So funny. There you go. Alright. With that in mind, now we can start painting. Here, we simply extend this over there. Let's create a selection first. We will still be hiding this underneath some clouds, but we approach this the Alexander Mendradiev way, in which you just have blocks of color. Which joke are you going to tell? The Thor Odinson joke. Yeah. Oh, hello, JT. What application am I using for this? This is Photoshop. This is pure Photoshop. So we want our Batman to be high up. So we start to zoom out, and then we just create all of these lines to show how high up he is. Just following perspective. So I'm combining two theories. The first is from Alexander Mendradiev. He's a concept artist for Marvel. He's done work for Spider-Man, and he loves doing these black and white these blockouts like this. And the other one is from the artist of what do you call that? God, I love that show. Love, Death, and Robots. He's the artist of The Witness, in which he also approaches things just with their silhouette like this. There you go. This is looking insane. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think your message is not loading into OBS. Oh, it is. It is. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, my bad. I thought it was not. So we have comments coming in from Facebook and from YouTube. I'm very grateful to have you all here, guys. Thank you. I have not yet slept, and so it brings me good cheer to have supporters from all places. Thank you. So yeah, let's select this again because we don't want to touch the floor. The floor is lava, and we want to be Thor Odinson. That's so cringe, but then it works. I don't know why. There you go. So the closer something is, the darker it becomes, and that is not a race joke. I hope nobody thinks of it that way. The farther something is, the more washed out it becomes. Okay. Do you sleep in bulk? Sometimes. The problem is, and I don't want to be too personal here, but I have trouble sleeping. I have extremely vivid dreams, and so an hour in dream is like a full day for me, and it's quite torturous. And I'm not even exaggerating. And so that's why I have insomnia, and I'm kind of scared to sleep, truth be told. Because I don't know what I'll experience in the dream, and yeah. I'm sorry for going into that kind of detail, but I'm just expressing myself. I'm just speaking the truth. How long have I been awake? I've been awake since 4 yesterday. Since 4 p.m. yesterday. It's currently 6:44 a.m. Well, that's why around 8 to 9 hours is recommended. Yeah. The problem is when I do 8 to 9 hours of sleep, I am somewhere else for probably a week. And then I wake up and all of my tendons are like, my nerves are shot. And it's and I don't feel rested at all. And so I need to sleep again because of how torturous it can feel sometimes. So my mind never leaves REM, and I don't get proper sleep. So that's why sometimes, like, for example, right now, I tend to want to exhaust myself. So that when I hit the bed, I just poof, I disappear, and this is the closest I can get to restful sleep when I'm fully exhausted. And sometimes I play games to exhaust myself, but I wanted to be extra productive right now, and so that's why I'm doing this, and I'm happy to have all of you here. Thank you. I hope that I'm partly entertaining you guys and partly providing good information about the creative part of something like this. There you go. All right, so that thing that I was talking about, the backdrop, well, here we go now. So what we want to do is match this. Notice how bright this is here. And then notice how dark this is. It does not line up at all. And so what we want to do is to brandish our color and just start painting underneath. There you go. There you go. And of course, we still want to take into consideration the shape that comes out of it. And I think we can compress this a little bit further. Nah, that's too much. That already looks terrible. Maybe extend it like that. There you go. I have a deadline in a couple of hours. I'm finishing my second book part. What? Whoa, I didn't get that. Second book what? Book part? Am I understanding that correctly? Do 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 do. Now let's stick with this. There you go. And let's just lower the hard light effect for this. I think 70 will do. 71 will do. 70. There you go. And then let's continue painting the underneath of it. There you go. I'm a PhD student in engineering. Wow. Wow. That's awesome. Wow. I have nothing to say but except for respect. And I hope that I'm coming off as sincere because I truly mean it. That's awesome. And I'm writing book parts. Wow. Oh. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. So we darken him a little bit so that he fits the rest of the building. And then we select that floor again. Where is it? The opposite right here. Then we darken that again. So yeah, that's our mock-up. We could add some more lines to this. I see, well, hope that goes well for you. I know someone who is writing as well. I wish you all the best, guys. Writing is tough, especially for, well, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, writing is tough. That much I can say. There's nothing easy with writing. And so really, kudos to you. All right, let's try to combine all of this. And then we punch it through a camera filter. And then right, so I just punched up the I'm an engineer by day, teacher in noon, and wannabe artist by night. It is going well, but I'm writing in what I'm writing is in my mother tongue Turkish. It seems easier to write, but the content lacks because there are a shit ton of data, and those you cannot translate. I see. So I think that we could oopsie daisy filter filter. Then I think that we should delete this top part so that Batman really stands out. And also here. Where is that absolute Batman nugget? There you go. Found it. Let's put it up here. Or maybe not. Yeah, so that took a while for the experimentation. So we have our experimented version, which I pretty much like, unexpectedly. And I think that Black Man is floating, I guess. Black Mask is floating, I guess. No, he's not. Oh, it's just the shadow. I see what you mean. Yeah, it doesn't work with this. That part doesn't work. You have to, which we can do right now. You need to add proper shading to that section, which was kind of affected when we did all of the shading thingies. So, but right now, let's make the proper repair to make it look like he's not floating. There you go. There you go. So that's one version, which I pretty much like, but I think we should go back to the shadows with our original concept. Whoops. There you go. There you go. This is the original concept. Yep. And take care. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you. Hope you get to drop by again soon. I'm happy to have had your acquaintance. Happy paintings. Happy painting, Silver. Maybe this is a little too dark. I honestly don't know. I am contemplating deeply this background. What if we remove this line right here? It changes a lot. This one right here. What if we paint over it and then just equalize that? I'm not really sure. Okay. Oh, there you go. I hope that I am still visible, even with the light turned off. Yeah, I think I'm still visible. So right now I'm just studying backdrops. I'm trying to see which one works. If we just stick to the full white. I'm seeing some full whites here with the backdrops. Because we can technically do that. We could try. Alright, I'm gonna try. You are the brightest day. Why does that sound like a song? Why does it sound like you want to sing me something? That I am the brightest day. It sounds awfully romantic. No evil shall escape my sight. For those who worship evil's might. Beware my power. I don't know. Silent Hill. The fog here kind of looks like Silent Hill, which I think helps with the Batman read far, far better. Yeah, I love and hate backgrounds, especially for display pieces like these. You kind of never know which one's best suited for the job, and you're just trying to figure things out as you go. Yeah, but I think this helps with the visual clarity more, and then I think we could just drop the Nick Dragotta backdrop some other time. But for now, I like this. It reads far clearer. Awesome. And then I think that we can shift to our soft round brush once more to further soften those parts. So we have a good Silent Hill effect. I think I used to have a joke about that. The in Brightest Day and Blackest Night, I think. Yeah, I think we're sticking with this. And we have our good character present already. No, I don't think so. I think I crafted whatever that line was when I was still a kid, and so things weren't as rampant as they are now. Yeah. All right. I think we can put our signature in now. Put our signature in now. And this is our Absolute Batman. So this is the black and white version, and this is the render. All right. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate the fervent support. I think we can end with this before I head on to other responsibilities, such as probably posting about this. So yeah, to everybody who joined, thank you so much. Thank you. To those who might still be catching up on the stream, another shameless plug, but we are holding 25% off on all commissions. And so if you have an idea, a Christmas gift that you want to give to yourself or to family or to a loved one or to a friend, it's 25% off. So what you were able to see with how things were executed earlier, you need money to buy his milk. Yes, I have a child to feed, and sadly he's in Turkey. He's doing engineering right now, following in his father's footsteps, but sadly his father has abandoned engineering and now has went on to doing art. So yeah, please feel free to send an inquiry as to the rates and the packages, and if you would interested to have something created like this, you have a character, whether it's from an existing IP or something from your own mind, feel free to reach out. All right, thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next stream. I'm very satisfied with the amount of work that I was able to produce today. I'm very satisfied with how Batman has turned out. Thank you. All right, that's it. I will be ending the stream. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful day.